Hello students, today we are going to start the discrete Fourier transform and revising the previous points of DTFT. There are many circumstances in which we need to determine the frequency content of time domain signal. For example, we may have to analyze the spectrum of the output of an LC oscillator to see how noise is present in the produced sine wave. This can be achieved by using the discrete Fourier transform DFT. DFT is usually considered as one of the two most powerful tools in the digital signal processing. So there are many applications of the DFT in DSP. So why DFT is required? So let us take the x of t is a continuous time signal and where we want to analyze this signal. A digital computer cannot work with the continuous time signal and we need to take some samples of x of t and analyze these samples instead of the original signal. Or while figure 1 shows the first 5 milliseconds of the signal, suppose let us consider it, and the x of t may continue for our year or more. Since our digital computer can process only the finite number of samples, we have to make an approximation and use the limited number of the sample. So the finite duration sequence is utilized to represent an analog continuous time signal which may extend to positive infinity on the time axis. So how many samples should take? So let us consider the L samples. We need to analyze the or estimate the frequency content of the signal. So let us take the L is equal to 8 samples of the signal. So let us take the 8 samples of the signal and signal is sampled by using the sampling frequency Ts is equal to 1 by Fs. So you will get the different values of the samples and its signal. So you will get these signals with the different samples. Fourier analysis provides several mathematical tools for the determine the frequency content of time domain signal. But which tool is good choice for analyzing the x of n? There are only two techniques from the Fourier analysis family which target the discrete time signal and the discrete time Fourier transform. The discrete Fourier transform. So the two techniques are used to analyze this kind of the signal. That is, one is the DTFT and second one is the DFT. So we know the DTFT, that is x of e raised to j omega is equal to summation minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n, and the inverse DTFT is x of n is equal to 1 by 2 pi integration over the period minus pi to pi x of e raised to j omega into e raised to j omega n d omega. So we can use the equation 1 to find the spectrum of finite duration signal x of n. However, x of e raised to j omega given by the above equation is a continuous function of omega. Hence, the digital computer cannot directly use the equation 1 to analyze the x of n. Here we sample the x of e raised to j omega to find the approximation of the x of n, and the idea of sampling the x of e raised to j omega is actually equally spaced frequency point is to find the basis of the second Fourier technique, which is nothing but the DFT. So DFT is nothing but the equally spaced frequency component. Uh, that is by sampling the x of e raised to j omega at the equally spaced frequency component. So you will get the DFT. So note that this sampling is taking place in the frequency domain, that is x of e raised to j omega is the function of the frequency. So let us take the one example, that is long sequence L samples long sequence x of n represent the analog continuous time signal x of t, and the goal is to find the set of sinusoidals which can add together to produce the x of n. As discussed above, the DFT is the sampling of the DTFT and at the equally spaced frequency points x of e raised to j omega is a periodic function in omega with the period 2 pi. If we take n samples in each period of x of e raised to j omega, the spacing between frequency points will be 2 pi by n. Hence, the frequency of the set of sinusoids that we are looking for v will be 2 pi by n into k. For the k is equal to 0 to n minus 1, using the exponentials similar to the equation 1 and 2, it will be function will be e raised to j 2 pi kn by n. That is, we are looking for the weighted sum of these functions will be hopefully give us the original signal x of n. This means that that is x of n is equal to summation k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of k e raised to j 2 pi kn by n, for n is equal to 0 to l minus 1. So we expand the x of n for the n is equal to 0 to l minus 1. So let us take the n is equal to 0. So x of 0 is equal to x dash of 0, x dash of 1 and so on. X1 is equal to x dash of 0, x1 of x dash of 1 e raised to 2 pi by n plus x dash of 2 e raised to 2 pi by n into 2, like so on. So you will get the weighted sum of x of n. So DFT is nothing but, or it is used primarily to use the transform for the numerical computation in digital signal processing. It is widely used for the spectrum analysis, fast convolution and many other applications. The DFT transforms the n discrete time samples to the same number of discrete frequency samples, and it is defined as a x of k is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi kn by n. So DFT is widely used in the part because it can be computed very efficiently using fast Fourier transform. The IDFT, that is the inverse discrete Fourier transform, n discrete frequency samples to the same number of discrete time signal. So IDFT is equal to x of n is equal to 1 by n summation k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of k e raised to j 2 pi kn by n. Note down these formulas which are required while problem solving. So this thus also can be computed by using the FFT. So DFT stands for the discrete Fourier transform. We can represent it using equation x of k is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi kn by n. So probably the only things that you can notice this equation are the fact that the summation is over the finite series. Additional, the exponential function seems to have gotten a bit more complicated. So properties of the revising the some properties of the DTFT. So all these properties are applicable for the DFT. So the first, linearity property, DFT of a linear combinations of two or more signal is the sum of the linear combination of the DFT of individual signals, that is A1 x1 of n plus A2 x2 of n, and its DFT will become A1 x1 of k plus A2 x2 of k. And you can prove this property. Suppose x of k is equal to summation n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n omega w of n raised to nk, where k is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So x of n becomes a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n. Therefore xk becomes summation over the n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 a1 x1 of n plus a2 x2 of n into the Twiddle factor. So multiply this Twiddle factor into the both terms. So a1 a2 are the constants, so you can take it separate. So you will get this equation, that is a1 summation of a1 x1 of n w of n plus a2 summation of x2 of n w of n. So that is nothing but the a1, this term is nothing but the x1 of k plus a2, this term is total term is nothing but the x2 of k. So in this way you can prove the all properties, that is linearity, time shifting, time reversal, frequency shifting, differentiation in the frequency domain, convolution, multiplication and correlation. So all these properties of the DTFT can be applicable for the DFT also. So DFT is nothing but the equally spaced frequency component, that indicates that if you sample the x of e raised to j omega, that is DTFT, so you will get the DFT signal. So modulation theorem, symmetry property, that is x of n, complex x of n is equal to complex of x of e raised to minus j omega. Complex conjugate of x of minus n is equal to complex conjugate of the x of e raised to j omega. Real part of x of n is nothing but the even part of x of e raised to j omega. Imaginary part of x of n is equal to odd part of x of e raised to j omega. X of n even part is nothing but the real part of the x of e raised to j omega. Odd part of x of n is nothing but the imaginary part of x of e raised to j omega. Parseval's theorem, so summation n is equal to summation minus infinity to infinity mod of x1 of n bracket square is nothing but 1 by 2 pi integration over the period minus pi to the pi x1 of 1 e raised to j omega square d omega. So with this basic knowledge, x of e raised to j omega in frequency domain, so that it is convenient digital analysis can be done, that is the sample data. So DFT is sampled in both time and frequency domain. With sampling assumption, your signal is should be the periodic xp of n. That is x of n should be the periodic xp of n. So DFT is nothing but uh, summation n is equal to 0 to n minus n x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi kn by n for k's values from 0 to n minus 1, and IDFT becomes x of n is equal to 1 by n summation k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 xk of in xk of e raised to positive j 2 pi kn by n for n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So note that DFT have the summation sign n is equal to 0 to n minus 1, and the IDFT have the summation sign k is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So students may get confused regarding the summation sign, which parameter should be extend for what. So you can pair the DFT. If you take the DFT of x of n, so you will get the x of k, and if you take the IDFT of x of k, you will get the x of n. Twiddle factor. Twiddle factor is defined as a W of n is the base, e raised to minus j2 pi by n. Its magnitude is always maintained at the unity, and phase is minus 2 pi by n. So it is a vector on the unit circle and is used for the computational convenience. So it can be represented as a W of r to the base n, W of r plus minus n to the base n, W of r plus minus 2n to the base n, up to and so on. So if you consider the n is equal to 8, so r becomes 0 to 16 if you extend. So your Twiddle factor will get symmetricity in the following, that is W of 0 equal to W of 8 equal to W of 16 up to W of 32. Like odd parameter will be Twiddle factor is equal to W of 1, W of 9, W of 70 and up to W of 33. So you will get the 1 by root 2, and here you will get the 1, phase 0, and here magnitude is 1, phase is minus 1 by pi by 4. So magnitude is always 1, but the phase is different. So let us compare the DTFT and DFT. DTFT is an infinite continuous sequence where the time signal x of n is a discrete signal. DFT is a finite non-continuous discrete sequence too, and is calculated using the discrete time signal. DTFT is a periodic. DFT has no periodicity. DTFT is calculated over the infinite summation. This indicates that it is a continuous signal. DFT is calculated over the finite sequence of values, and this indicates that the result is a non-continuous. The omega in exponential function is a continuous frequency variable. Here DTFT omega is replaced with the finite number of frequencies located at 2 pi k by n, and the TS is the sampling period. In other words, DTFT signal and sample at the frequency 2 pi by n, you will get the DFT of x of n. So that is DFT is the sampled version of the DTFT. DTFT gives the higher number of the frequency component. DFT gives the lower number of frequency component. DTFT is defined from the minus infinity to plus infinity, DFT is defined from the 0 to n minus 1. So positive frequency. DTFT is more accurate because the long range is there. To improve the accuracy of the DFT, the number of samples must be very high. However, this will turn causes the significant increases in the required computational power. So it's trade-off. DTFT will contain some of the values of the DFT too. DTFT and DFT will coincide at the intervals of the omega 2 pi k by n, where k is equal to 0 to n minus 1. Thank you.